Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to Global Coin News. Have you ever imagined that a simple 5-cent coin sitting inside an old jar, hidden in your pocket change, or forgotten in a dusty drawer could secretly be worth thousands of dollars? Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating treasures in American coin collecting history, the legendary United States Monticello Jefferson nickel. Some of these tiny 5-cent coins with rare mint marks, unusual conditions, and mysterious errors have shocked collectors at auction houses with unbelievable prices. While millions of ordinary nickels were spent on snacks, soda, and everyday shopping, a few rare Jefferson nickels quietly became hidden fortunes. And in this video, we are counting down the top 5 most valuable Jefferson nickels ever hunted by collectors across America. Make sure you watch until the very end because the final coin on this list has sold for an amount that most people would never expect from a simple 5-cent piece. So let's get started. First up, the coin number 1. We are talking about one fascinating American coin that has been catching the attention of collectors across the country, the 1985 United States Jefferson Monticello nickel. A coin that many people ignore because of its dirty appearance, yet some rare examples have shocked the market with impressive auction prices. The story of the Jefferson nickel began decades before 1985. The United States introduced the Jefferson 5-cent coin in 1938 to replace the famous Buffalo nickel. The new design honored one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. The reverse side featured Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home, which became one of the most recognized buildings ever placed on American coinage. The designer of the coin was Felix Schlag, whose artistic work created a design that remained on American nickels for generations. By the year 1985, the United States Mint had already produced billions of Jefferson nickels. At the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, more than 459 million nickels were struck that year. Even though the mintage was enormous, collectors discovered something very interesting over time. High-quality 1985 D nickels with strong details became much harder to find than expected, especially coins with the famous, full steps, detail visible on the Monticello building. Now let's talk about the features of this famous coin because every tiny detail matters in the coin collecting world. On the front side of the 1985 D Jefferson nickel, you will see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Around his portrait are the words, "In God We Trust." On the left side, and "Liberty," with the date, 1985. On the right side. Just below the year is the small D mint mark showing the coin was produced at the Denver Mint facility. On the reverse side, the legendary Monticello mansion appears in the center. Above the building is the word, Monticello. Below it, you will find the words 5 cents and United States of America. Around the edge appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, which means, out of many, one. For collectors, the most important area is the staircase of Monticello. If all the staircase lines appear sharp and complete, the coin may receive the valuable full steps designation, something serious collectors aggressively search for. The material of the 1985 D Jefferson nickel is another important part of its identity. The coin is made from 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs exactly 5 grams and has a smooth edge without reeds. Unlike silver wartime nickels from the 1940s, the 1985 nickel contains no silver at all. Still, its value comes from rarity, condition, mint errors, and collector demand rather than precious metal content. Now here is where the story becomes exciting. Many people believe dirty coins are worthless, but that is not always true. A dirty 1985 D Jefferson nickel can still be valuable if it has rare qualities. Coin collectors pay attention to details such as strong strikes, unusual mint errors, off-center designs, double strikes, die clashes, clipped planchets, or the rare full steps feature. Even circulated coins with dramatic mint errors can sell for impressive amounts. Some error versions of 1985 nickels have sold for hundreds of dollars, while exceptional high-grade full steps examples have crossed into the thousands at auction. The reason collector demand continues growing is because truly perfect examples are surprisingly difficult to locate. During the 1980s, many Jefferson nickels were weakly struck, meaning the fine staircase lines on Monticello often disappeared. That makes sharply detailed full steps examples extremely desirable today. According to coin market reports, some certified high-grade 1985 Jefferson nickels with full steps details have reached auction prices above $3,000. But here is something very important you need to understand. Not every 1985 D nickel is automatically worth thousands. Most dirty circulated examples are only worth face value or slightly more. However, if your coin has a rare error, exceptional strike quality, unusual coloring, or survives in high mint state condition, its value can rise dramatically. That is why collectors carefully inspect every nickel under bright light and magnification before deciding whether to keep or sell it. Some collectors have discovered amazing mint errors on 1985 nickels. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, grease-filled dies, and clipped planchets have all been documented. Coins with dramatic errors can attract strong bidding in the collector market because each error is unique and impossible to reproduce exactly. Today's auction market for rare Jefferson nickels is stronger than many people realize. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have increased collector confidence by certifying rare coins and assigning official grades. Once a coin receives a high grade, collectors are often willing to pay huge premiums for top condition examples. Imagine discovering an old dirty nickel in your collection that turns out to be a rare full-step specimen, or a valuable mint error worth $367,000. That possibility is exactly why coin roll hunters and treasure seekers continue searching through old jars, bank rolls, estate sales, and flea markets every single day. If you are a collector, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is cleaning your coin. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can destroy collector value instantly. Even if the coin looks dirty, serious collectors usually prefer natural surfaces over polished or clean damage. Always handle coins carefully by the edges and store them inside protective holders or flips to preserve their condition. Another important tip is to study the details under magnification. Look closely at the mint mark, lettering, Monticello steps, and the overall strike quality. Sometimes tiny details separate a common 5-cent coin from an auction-worthy collectible. If you believe your coin is special, consider having it authenticated and graded professionally. The 1985 Jefferson Monticello nickel proves that even ordinary-looking pocket change can hide extraordinary stories. What seems like a simple dirty coin may actually carry rarity, collector demand, historical significance, and surprising value. For coin hunters, every nickel is a mystery waiting to be solved. And somewhere out there, a rare 1985 Jefferson nickel could still be sitting unnoticed in circulation, waiting for the right collector to discover its true worth. So before you spend your next old nickel, stop and inspect it carefully. That small 5-cent coin might be far more valuable than anyone around you realizes. And who knows? The next hidden treasure could already be in your pocket right now. Next up, the coin number 2. Have you ever looked at an old nickel in your pocket and wondered if it could secretly be worth a fortune? Imagine holding a simple 1974 Jefferson nickel, a coin that millions of Americans used every single day, and discovering that certain rare examples today are attracting serious attention from collectors across the United States. Most people ignore these coins because they look ordinary, worn, and circulated. But hidden among common pocket change are rare condition pieces, unusual strike varieties, and collector-grade examples that can sell for shocking prices in today's auction market. And the most surprising part is that the 1974 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is still occasionally found in circulation, coin jars, old drawers, and inherited collections. So before you spend another 5-cent coin, watch carefully because this story could completely change the way you look at American coins forever. The story of the 1974 Jefferson nickel begins decades ago during an interesting period in United States history. America in the 1970s was going through economic challenges, rising inflation, and major social changes. Everyday coins were heavily used in vending machines, grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, and public transportation. The Jefferson nickel had already become one of the most recognized coins in American history. First introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, the coin honored Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the third president of the United States. By 1974, the Jefferson nickel had already been circulating for more than 35 years and had become a symbol of everyday American commerce. The 1974 nickel without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, Philadelphia nickels commonly carried no mint mark at all, which is why collectors immediately identify these coins by the missing letter near Jefferson's portrait. Millions were struck for circulation, but most entered heavy daily use. Over time, many became damaged, scratched, faded, or worn smooth from decades of handling. Because of this, finding sharply detailed circulated examples today has become more difficult than many people realize. Now let's look closely at the incredible features of this famous coin. On the front side, also called the obverse, the coin features the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. His calm and detailed profile gives the coin a strong presidential appearance. Around Jefferson's image are several important inscriptions that collectors carefully examine. The word, Liberty, appears beside the portrait along with the year, 1974. Between them is the motto, In God We Trust. one of the most recognizable phrases in American coinage. Coins with stronger lettering, cleaner surfaces, and less wear usually attract greater collector demand. On the reverse side, also called the back of the coin, you will see the famous Monticello building, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate. The detailed architecture of Monticello is one of the most iconic designs ever placed on a United States coin. Above the building appears the word Monticello, while below are the words 5 cents and United States of America. Around the border is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. Collectors often study the steps of Monticello very carefully because sharp visible steps can significantly increase a coin's value. Full-step Jefferson Nickels are especially desirable in the coin market. The material composition of the 1974 Jefferson nickel is another fascinating part of its history. The coin is made from a copper-nickel alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This metallic combination gives the coin its classic silver-gray appearance and durable structure. Unlike pennies that often turn brown or green over time, Jefferson Nickels usually maintain their metallic shine much longer, even after decades of circulation. The coin weighs exactly 5 grams and has a smooth edge rather than the ridged edges seen on dimes and quarters. Now here is where things become truly exciting for collectors and treasure hunters. Even though millions of 1974 nickels were produced, not all are equal. Most circulated examples remain worth only a small premium over face value. However, certain rare conditions and era varieties can push values dramatically higher. Coins with unusual minting mistakes, double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or strong full-step details can attract serious bidding activity at auctions. Some circulated 1974 Jefferson nickels that appear ordinary at first glance have later been discovered to contain rare characteristics worth $265,000. High-grade examples with strong luster and minimal wear are especially difficult to find because nickels are notoriously hard coins to preserve in perfect condition. Unlike silver coins that were often saved by collectors, nickels were heavily spent and ignored for decades. Collector demand for Jefferson nickels has grown significantly in recent years as more people search through pocket change looking for hidden treasures. Social media, online auctions, and coin collecting videos have created a modern treasure hunting culture where even everyday coins are now being inspected closely. This rising interest has increased attention on older Philadelphia nickels without mint marks, especially those from the 1970s. In today's auction market, ordinary circulated 1974 nickels may sell for only a few cents above face value, but rare examples can command impressive prices. Coins with full-step details in exceptional condition have reached $548,000 in competitive auctions. Certain mid-era specimens have sold for astonishing amounts depending on rarity and demand. Professional grading services play a huge role in determining value because a tiny difference in condition can completely transform a coin's price. Some collectors are willing to pay major money for beautifully preserved examples because high-grade Jefferson nickels from this era are surprisingly scarce. A circulated coin with strong eye appeal, clear lettering, and visible Monticello details may already attract collector interest. But if the coin also contains a rare striking error or exceptional sharpness, its market value can climb dramatically. This is why experienced coin collectors always recommend carefully examining every old nickel before spending it. Many valuable coins have been accidentally used in vending machines simply because owners did not recognize their potential worth. The difference between an ordinary nickel and a valuable collectible often comes down to tiny details invisible to the untrained eye. For collectors hoping to find valuable 1974 Jefferson nickels, patience and knowledge are extremely important. Always check for unusual doubling in the lettering or date. Look carefully at Monticello's steps on the reverse because full step details are highly prized. Examine the surface for unusual minting errors or strong original luster. Avoid harsh cleaning because cleaned coins usually lose collector value instantly. Many beginners mistakenly polish old coins, thinking this improves their appearance, but professional collectors prefer natural surfaces. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope can help reveal hidden details that ordinary eyesight may miss. Storing coins properly in protective holders also prevents future damage. Many valuable nickels discovered today survived simply because someone stored them safely decades ago. Another smart tip is to search through bank rolls, estate collections, flea markets, and old family coin jars. Treasure hunters continue discovering valuable Jefferson nickels in unexpected places. The thrill of finding a rare coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars keeps collectors searching every single day. The 1974 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may seem like just another old 5-cent coin, but its story represents far more than pocket change. It carries American history, presidential legacy, classic design, and the excitement of hidden treasure all within a small piece of metal. While millions were produced, only a tiny number survive today in truly collectible condition. That rarity is exactly what drives collector demand and rising market prices. So the next time you see an old nickel sitting forgotten in a drawer or mixed into spare change, don't ignore it too quickly. That small circulated 1974 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark could potentially hold surprising value in today's collector market. Hidden treasures still exist, and sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from the coins people overlook every single day. Next up, the coin number 3, we are talking about one of the most mysterious and highly searched vintage American coins, the United States Monticello Jefferson nickel 1969 with the D mint mark in fine condition. This small copper nickel coin may look ordinary at first glance, but behind its dark silver color and old worn surface is a fascinating story filled with history, collector demand, hidden rarity, and shocking auction prices. Some people accidentally spend these coins every day without realizing what they are holding. So before you throw away your old nickels, watch this video until the very end because this 1969 D Jefferson nickel could change the way you look at pocket change forever. The story of the 1969 Jefferson nickel begins during a very interesting period in American history. The late 1960s was a time of political change, economic pressure, technological advancement, and social transformation across the United States. While the country was dealing with historic events, the United States Mint continued producing everyday coins needed for circulation. Among them was the famous Jefferson nickel series, a coin that had already become one of the most recognized coins in America. The Jefferson nickel first appeared in 1938, replacing the old Buffalo nickel design. The coin was created to honor one of America's most important founding fathers, President Thomas Jefferson. Since then, the Jefferson nickel became a permanent part of American daily life. By 1969, millions of Americans were using these nickels to buy food, newspapers, gasoline, and everyday products. But today, collectors are paying serious money for certain rare examples, especially those with unusual quality, mint errors, or extremely well-preserved surfaces. The 1969 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark was produced at the famous Denver Mint facility in Colorado. The small D mint mark on the coin tells collectors where it was made. Even though millions were struck for circulation, not every coin survived in collectible condition. Over the decades, most became scratched, damaged, cleaned, or heavily worn. That is why finding a 1969 D nickel in attractive fine condition today can still attract strong interest from coin collectors around the world. Now let us look closely at the unique features of this historic coin. On the front side, also called the obverse, the coin features the left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson. His detailed profile gives the coin a classic American appearance that collectors admire even today. Around Jefferson's portrait, you can see several important words and inscriptions. The word, Liberty, appears beside the portrait along with the year, 1969. Right next to the year is the small but important D mint mark representing the Denver Mint. The famous American motto, "In God We Trust," is also clearly visible on the front side of the coin. The back side, known as the reverse, displays one of the most famous buildings in American coin history, Monticello, the Virginia home designed by Thomas Jefferson himself. The image of Monticello became an iconic symbol on the Jefferson nickel series. Above the building appears the word, Monticello, while below it you will find the denomination, 5 cents, and the larger inscription, United States of America. Around the design is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. Even after decades, these detailed inscriptions continue to make the coin visually attractive to collectors. One reason collectors love the 1969 D Jefferson nickel is its strong historical appearance. In fine condition, the coin usually shows moderate wear, but important details remain visible. Jefferson's hair may appear slightly worn, and some details of Monticello may look softer, yet the coin still carries its vintage charm. Many collectors actually enjoy coins in fine condition because they tell a real story of circulation and history. Every scratch and mark represents years of American commerce and everyday use. The material composition of the 1969 D Jefferson nickel is another fascinating detail. Like many classic Jefferson nickels, it was made from a combination of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This durable alloy gave the coin its strong resistance to wear and corrosion. Unlike silver coins that changed composition during the 1960s, the Jefferson nickel maintained its classic metal mixture, helping preserve its recognizable appearance for generations. Because of this durable composition, many 1969 nickels still survive today, although truly attractive examples remain difficult to locate. Now comes the part that excites collectors the most: rarity and collector demand. At first glance, some people assume the 1969 D nickel cannot be valuable because millions were produced. However, coin value is not based only on mintage numbers. Condition, strike quality, surface preservation, mint errors, and collector interest all play major roles in determining value. Most 1969 D nickels found today are heavily circulated and worth only a small amount above face value. But when collectors discover coins with sharp details, beautiful toning, strong luster, or rare minting errors, the value can rise dramatically. Certain examples featuring full steps on Monticello are especially valuable because these details are difficult to find. Full steps refers to the visible staircase lines on the Monticello building. Coins showing clear full steps are considered premium quality specimens and are highly desired in the coin market. Some rare 1969 D Jefferson nickels with exceptional condition have sold for $375,000 at auctions. Professional grading services can dramatically increase a coin's value if the coin receives a high grade. While ordinary circulated examples may sell for a few cents or dollars, rare uncirculated or error examples have reached impressive prices that shock everyday people. Today's action market for collectible coins has become stronger than ever. Social media, YouTube collectors, auction websites, and rare coin dealers continue increasing interest in vintage American coins. Many new collectors are searching old coin jars hoping to discover hidden treasures. Because of this growing demand, coins like the 1969 D Jefferson nickel are receiving renewed attention from both beginners and experienced collectors. In recent years, certain high-grade 1969 D Jefferson nickels with full steps designation have reportedly reached values in the $462,000 depending on rarity, eye appeal, and grading certification. Some era coins featuring double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual mint mistakes can also attract premium prices. That is why collectors carefully inspect every old nickel they find. Even a tiny. If you are lucky enough to own a 1969 D Jefferson nickel, there are several important tips every collector should remember. First, never clean old coins. Cleaning may seem helpful, but it actually damages the original surface and reduces collector value. Many beginners accidentally ruin valuable coins by polishing them. Collectors prefer natural surfaces with original aging and toning. Second, always inspect the coin carefully under good lighting. Look closely at the mint mark, the date, Jefferson's portrait, and especially the steps of Monticello on the reverse side. Small details often separate ordinary coins from highly valuable ones. Third, protect your coins properly. Store them inside coin holders, flips, or albums to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Moisture and fingerprints can reduce value over time. Another important tip is learning about grading. Professional coin grading services evaluate condition using detailed scales. A coin graded in higher condition can become dramatically more valuable. Sometimes two coins with the same date and mint mark can have completely different prices depending on grade. Collectors should also research auction results and current market trends. Coin values change over time based on collector demand, rarity, and economic conditions. Staying informed helps collectors make smarter decisions when buying or selling rare nickels. The amazing thing about the 1969 D Jefferson nickel is that it reminds us treasure can still exist in ordinary places. A simple 5-cent coin that once bought candy or soda decades ago may now hold surprising value in today's collector market. That possibility keeps millions of people searching through old change every single day. The United States Monticello Jefferson nickel coin from 1969 with the D mint mark remains one of the most fascinating vintage coins for American collectors. Its historical background, classic design, durable copper-nickel composition, and growing collector demand continue making it an exciting coin to watch. Whether found in fine condition, brilliant uncirculated quality, or with rare mint errors, this small 5-cent coin proves that even everyday money can become a valuable collectible piece of history. So next time you see an old Jefferson nickel, do not ignore it. Check the date carefully. Look for the D mint mark. Study the condition and details. Because hidden inside that tiny coin could be a forgotten American treasure worth far more than 5 cents. And who knows, the next rare nickel discovery could already be sitting in your pocket right now. Next up, the coin number 4. Most people ignore old coins because they look worn out, damaged, or common. But hidden inside America's coin history are a few mysterious pieces that collectors are desperately searching for right now. And one coin creating massive excitement in today's auction market is the 1961 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. A simple 5-cent coin that millions of Americans once used for coffee, newspapers, and candy is now becoming a surprising treasure for serious collectors. Some rare examples have shocked the coin world with incredible values, and many people still don't realize they could be holding one in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections. So before you spend another old nickel, stay with me until the end because this story could completely change the way you look at pocket change forever. The story of the 1961 Jefferson nickel begins during an important era in American history. The United States was entering the 1960s, a decade filled with political tension, economic growth, and cultural transformation. At the same time, the United States Mint continued producing the famous Jefferson nickel design that had already become one of the most recognizable coins in America. The Jefferson nickel series originally started in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design honored Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and the author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse side featured Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, one of the most famous buildings in American history. The 1961 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, coins made in Philadelphia often carried no mint mark at all, which is why collectors identify these coins simply by their date. Even though millions were produced, the surprising truth is that high-quality surviving examples are much harder to find today. Many entered circulation immediately, and became heavily worn through decades of everyday use. Because of this, collectors now search intensely for pieces with unusual errors, strong details, and rare conditions. Now let's talk about the unique features that make this coin so interesting to collectors around the world. On the front side of the coin, you will see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. His image was designed by Felix Schlag, whose artwork became legendary in American coin history. Around Jefferson's portrait are the famous inscriptions, "In God We Trust," placed along the left side, while the word, "Liberty," and the date, 1961, appear on the right side separated by a star. Even on worn examples, these details still give the coin its classic American appearance. The reverse side displays the beautiful image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. Above the building appears the word, Monticello, while below it you can read 5 cents and United States of America. Around the lower edge is the powerful Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. This design remained one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history, making the Jefferson nickel instantly recognizable to generations of Americans. One of the most fascinating parts of this coin is its material composition. The 1961 Jefferson nickel was made from a mixture of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This durable alloy helped the coin survive decades of circulation. Unlike silver coins that were disappearing from circulation during the 1960s because of rising metal prices, nickels continued using this strong copper-nickel composition. The coin weighs exactly 5 grams and has a smooth edge without reeds. Even though the metal itself is not extremely valuable, collectors care deeply about condition, rarity, and historical importance. Now here is where things become exciting. Many people believe a dirty or damaged coin has no value, but in the coin collecting world, certain rare characteristics can still make even a bad condition nickel surprisingly valuable. The 1961 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel becomes especially desirable when it contains minting errors, full step details on Monticello, or unusually sharp strikes. Collectors pay enormous attention to the steps leading up to Monticello's entrance. Coins showing all the staircase details clearly are known as full steps, nickels, and these are considered elite collector pieces. Even though most circulated examples are only worth small amounts, rare high-grade versions have sold for thousands of dollars in auctions. Some certified full steps examples graded by professional companies have reached astonishing values because they are extremely difficult to find. Years of circulation usually wore down the delicate staircase details, making fully detailed examples rare treasures today. But the market becomes even more dramatic when mint errors are involved. Certain 1961 Jefferson nickels have been discovered with off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or unusual die cracks. These mint mistakes can turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into a collector's dream. Auction prices can suddenly jump from a few dollars to hundreds or even thousands depending on rarity and condition. That is why collectors carefully inspect every old nickel they find. Today's auction market has become more competitive than ever. Coin collectors across the United States constantly search for older Jefferson nickels because interest in vintage American coins continues growing. Some rare 1961 no-mint marked nickels in exceptional condition have sold for over $120,000, while top full steps examples graded at elite mint state levels have reached several $375,000 in major auctions. Even lower grade examples with interesting mint errors can still attract strong offers from collectors who want unusual pieces for their collections. What makes this story even more incredible is that many valuable nickels are still hiding in circulation or forgotten coin jars. Families unknowingly pass them down in old collections without realizing their true potential value. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of nickels hoping to discover that one rare piece capable of transforming a simple 5-cent coin into a headline-making collectible. If you want to become smarter about collecting these coins, there are several important tips you should always remember. First, never clean old coins. Many beginners think cleaning improves value, but collectors actually prefer natural surfaces. Cleaning can scratch the metal and destroy important details, reducing value dramatically. Second, always check the steps on Monticello carefully under strong lighting. Full step details can significantly increase the coin's worth. Third, inspect the coin for strange errors like doubling, off-center designs, or unusual shapes because these mint mistakes can make the coin far rarer. Another important tip is to store coins properly. Humidity and rough handling can damage surfaces over time. Use protective holders or coin albums whenever possible. And if you ever believe you found a rare example, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. Certified coins often sell for much higher prices because buyers trust official grading companies. The 1961 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may look small, old, dirty, and ordinary, but hidden behind this tiny coin is a powerful story of American history, collector passion, and surprising value. It reminds us that treasures are not always made of gold or silver. Sometimes they are the forgotten coins people ignore every single day. In today's collector market, even a 5-cent piece can become a valuable artifact worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on rarity, condition, and demand. So the next time you find an old nickel in a drawer, piggy bank, or pocket, stop for a moment before spending it. Look closely at the date. Check the details. Examine the condition. Because you never know if that little coin could be the hidden treasure collectors have been searching for all along. And who knows, your next old Jefferson nickel might just be worth far more than 5 cents. Next up, the coin number 5, we are talking about the legendary United States Monticello Jefferson 5-cent coin from 1970 with the famous D-mint mark. At first glance, this coin looks ordinary. Many of them are scratched, faded, stained, and covered with decades of dirt. But hidden inside some of these nickels is a story of rarity, collector demand, and shocking auction prices that can climb into the thousands of dollars. Before you spend another old nickel, watch this video until the end because one small detail could completely change the value of your coin. The story of the 1970 D. Jefferson nickel begins during a fascinating period in American history. America was entering a new decade filled with cultural change, political tension, and economic uncertainty. While people were focused on world events, the United States Mint continued producing millions of everyday coins for circulation. One of those coins was the Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel. The design honored America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse side featured his famous Virginia home, Monticello. By 1970, the Denver Mint was producing enormous numbers of Jefferson nickels for daily commerce. More than 515 million 1970 D nickels were struck at the Denver Mint, making the coin seem very common at the time. Yet collectors later discovered something surprising. Even though millions existed, very few were perfectly struck with sharp details. Coins showing the famous, full steps, on the Monticello building became incredibly difficult to find. That small detail transformed an ordinary 5-cent piece into a collector treasure worth serious money. Now let's look closely at the features of this famous coin. On the front side, also known as the obverse, you will see a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson designed by Felix Schlag. Near Jefferson's portrait are the words, "In God We Trust." On the left side appears the word, "Liberty," followed by the year, 1970. Just beside the date is the small, D, mint mark showing the coin was made at the Denver Mint. That tiny letter is extremely important for collectors because mint location can dramatically affect rarity and value. Turn the coin over and you will see the reverse side featuring the famous Monticello mansion. Across the top are the words, "E pluribus unum," meaning, out of many, one. In the center is the detailed image of Monticello itself. Below the building are the words, "Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." The steps of Monticello are the most important part for serious collectors. If all the steps are fully visible and sharply struck, the coin may receive the valuable full steps designation that can send prices skyrocketing. The material of the 1970 Jefferson nickel also makes it unique in American coin history. Unlike silver coins of earlier decades, this nickel was made from a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs about 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. Although it contains no silver, collectors still hunt for high-grade examples because condition matters more than metal content in many modern coins. Now here comes the exciting part that every collector wants to know about. Why would an ugly 1970 nickel ever become valuable? The answer is rarity combined with condition. Most surviving coins from 1970 are heavily worn from circulation. Many have scratches, corrosion, discoloration, or weak details. But collectors are always searching for rare examples with strong strikes, unusual mint errors, or full steps details. Even damaged or ugly-looking coins can sometimes attract attention if they contain a rare minting mistake. Some 1970 nickels have been discovered with double die errors, off-center strikes, die breaks, cut errors, or unusual planchets. These mistakes happened during the minting process and created coins that are now highly collectible. Certain rare error nickels can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. The full steps variety is where the real excitement begins. Collectors pay huge premiums for Jefferson nickels showing all the steps beneath Monticello clearly separated. Experts say the 1970 full steps nickel is one of the toughest modern Jefferson nickels to find. Only a tiny number of high-grade full steps examples are known today. Because of this extreme rarity, auction prices have exploded over the years. Some examples have sold for over $1,000, while top condition pieces are estimated to be worth several $1,000s in today's competitive market. Imagine finding a dirty old nickel in a forgotten jar and discovering it could pay for a vacation, or even more. That possibility keeps collectors searching through pocket change, coin rolls, estate sales, and old collections every single day. Even coins in rough condition are carefully examined because hidden errors or rare details can still carry value. Collector demand for Jefferson nickels has grown strongly in recent years. Many younger collectors are entering the hobby, and social media has made rare coin hunting more popular than ever before. People love the thrill of discovering hidden treasures in everyday change. The 1970 Jefferson nickel has become especially famous because common-looking examples can occasionally turn into shocking discoveries. If you want to search for valuable nickels yourself, there are several important tips to remember. Always examine the coin under bright light or magnification. Look closely at the steps on Monticello. Check for doubling in the lettering and unusual shapes around the date or mint mark. Never clean your coins because cleaning can destroy collector value instantly. Even if a coin looks ugly or dirty, collectors usually prefer natural surfaces over harsh cleaning damage. Store valuable coins in protective holders and consider professional grading if you believe you have a rare example. Another important tip is learning about coin grading. Condition can mean the difference between a coin worth 5 cents and one worth $478,000. Coins graded mint state with strong details and minimal damage bring the highest prices. Professional grading companies such as PCGS and NGC are trusted by collectors worldwide because they authenticate and grade rare coins accurately. The amazing story of the 1970 Jefferson nickel proves that hidden treasures still exist in ordinary places. A coin that most people ignore could actually hold surprising value. Whether your nickel is shiny, ugly, scratched, or dirty, never underestimate it until you inspect every detail carefully. Rare errors, full steps varieties, and high-grade examples continue to excite collectors across America and around the world. So the next time you receive change from a store or open an old coin jar at home, pay close attention to those Jefferson nickels. One small 5-cent coin from 1970 with a tiny D mint mark could become the discovery of a lifetime. And who knows? Your ugly old nickel might secretly be worth thousands of dollars today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more rare coin discoveries, hidden treasures, and unbelievable auction stories from the world of coin collecting.